The rain was coming down in sheets, a torrential deluge that seemed to have no end in sight. I cursed myself for venturing out on such a dreadful night, but I had no choice. I had to reach my destination, and there was no turning back now. The road stretched out in front of me, illuminated only by the faint glow of my car's headlights. Thunder rumbled in the distance, and the wind howled like a ghostly choir. As I continued down the desolate road, my car began to sputter and jerk, its engine protesting against the relentless rain. Panic surged through me as I realized that I was stranded in the middle of nowhere. I pulled over to the side of the road and tried to start the car again, but it was no use. It was dead. I looked around, hoping to spot a sign of civilization in the darkness. To my relief, I saw a dimly lit building in the distance, a weather-beaten sign swinging above its entrance that read, "Last Stop Bar." It was my only hope, so I grabbed my rain-soaked coat and sprinted through the rain towards the old bar. The moment I stepped inside, a wave of nostalgia washed over me. The Last Stop Bar was like something out of a bygone era, with its dimly lit interior, worn leather stools, and a jukebox that looked as if it had been there since the beginning of time. It was empty except for the old bartender, a hunched figure with wisps of white hair and a face that had seen too many years. "Evening, stranger," he rasped as I took a seat at the bar. "Quite a night for a drive," I replied, trying to hide my unease. The bartender poured me a drink without asking, as if he knew exactly what I needed. I took a sip, the warmth of the whiskey spreading through me like a lifeline. We fell into a comfortable silence, the only sounds in the bar the rain pounding on the roof and the occasional crackle of the jukebox. I began to relax, grateful for the shelter and the company, no matter how strange it might be. The bartender's eyes never left me, and I couldn't help but wonder about him. He looked like he had been here forever, like the bar itself. I decided to strike up a conversation. "So, how long have you been running this place?" I asked, trying to make small talk. The old man chuckled, a dry, humorless sound that sent a shiver down my spine. "Oh, I've been here a long, long time, son. Longer than you can imagine."
I raised an eyebrow but didn't press further. Maybe he was just a lonely old man with a penchant for dramatics. I finished my drink and ordered another, the rain outside showing no signs of letting up. As the night wore on, the conversation between the bartender and me grew more surreal. He spoke of events that seemed impossible, of people he claimed to have known who had died long ago. It was as if he had lived through a different era altogether, and I couldn't help but feel a creeping sense of unease. Suddenly, the jukebox crackled to life, and a hauntingly familiar tune filled the bar. It was a song from my childhood, one that my grandfather used to sing to me. I turned to the bartender, my heart pounding. "How did you know this song?" I stammered. The bartender smiled, a chilling grin that sent a shock of terror through me. "I know many things, young one. I've seen many things." I stumbled back from the bar, my mind racing. Something was terribly wrong here. I had to get out, had to escape this place. But as I turned toward the door, I froze in my tracks. The bartender had vanished. I blinked in disbelief, my heart pounding in my chest. There was no sign of him anywhere. I was alone in the bar, surrounded by the eerie silence of the rainy night. With trembling hands, I pushed open the door and stepped out into the rain. My car sat abandoned by the side of the road, but I didn't care. I had to get away from that bar, from whatever malevolent force had taken hold of it. As I drove away, my mind raced with questions and fear. Who was that bartender? What had I stumbled upon in that forsaken place? And then it hit me, a realization so horrifying that it made my blood run cold. The bartender had known things about me, things from my past that no one could possibly know. He had known that song, the one my grandfather used to sing. It was impossible, unless he had been my grandfather, returned from beyond the grave to deliver a message. The twist was more chilling than I could have ever imagined. My heart pounded in my chest as I sped away from that cursed place, the rain still pouring down, and the darkness of the night concealing the truth I had unearthed.